just run down as a serious question. Start at the very beginning. Mr. Brady, the question I'm not sure I heard the answer to in my mind. Your definition under the bill, I am a co-sponsor, of a sound dollar, is that just the language of saying that if we hit our 2% inflationary as opposed to anything else?
It doesn't set an explicit target of 2%. It does not.
Is that something that should be looked at and try to clarify it in the bill before it goes forward?
You know, I'm very open to that. I'd like to see Congress to set that type of target in a rules-based system.
If you did pass legislation similar to this, how do we know whether they are meeting the standard if we don't set a standard? And then secondly, is there consequences if we're not meeting the standard that we haven't set?
I think setting a clear mandate, whether we set the explicit target or not, and certainly open to that, then holding them accountable to that, I think is key. And Mr. Garrett, one point I would like to make, that going forward, you know, I think it's a terrible mistake to require all the Federal Reserve Bank presidents to be appointed and confirmed by the Senate. One, it will further politicize the Federal Reserve Board, including leading to vacancies as we have today in it. It will concentrate more power on Wall Street in Washington. I think it will be less independent as a Fed because, as you know, our regional bank presidents have an independent staff, so they can actually not rely just on the chairman's staff, but on their own to assess economic policy. And then, as you know, finally, the Board of Governors actually approves these regional Reserve Bank presidents. So we already have accountability within the system.
I guess I sit here and wonder, maybe as the chairman does, what our role in this is under either one of your scenarios. And you're saying, for that reason, you don't have that appointment. Under the ranking member's position, it would go through presidential appointment. I can see some benefit to that. But then I can also see we in Congress, and that's all over in the Senate, as far as monetary policy, we're sort of left out except to hear the chairman occasionally come and testify and saying this is what they're doing and we have no standing.
Congress holds constitutional responsibility for monetary policy. We have, through history, contracted that out to the Federal Reserve Bank with a clear mandate. Now, lately, a more muddled mandate. And to make the point, one, I don't think we want to envision a day where 535 members of Congress are setting monetary policy in America. Secondly, America is really an outlier here. Of the 47 central banks and monetary authorities around the world, only 2 give equal weight to unemployment. Only 2 have, in effect, a muddled mandate. The others have set price stability as either the primary, you know, or the hierarchically the single mandate for their central authority.
Mr. Chairman, might I have one sentence? I thought my Republican colleagues were in favor of American exceptionalism.
And I wish we would have dealt with that on federal, on Fannie and Freddie years ago. And I do thank Chairman Garrett for his efforts to actually resolve the problem.
Gentlemen, yield.